Hey y'all.
Whoa.
What
Hey.
up?
I haven't seen y'all since last year.
I know. Boom. Got him.
Happy New
Totally
Year.
got him.
Happy New Year. How are
Happy
y'all
New Year.
doing?
Doing well, feeling good. I'm feeling, those slow jams that we get into, Jordan, like that soundtrack you put together. I always
yep.
feel that. You know what I mean? It's like just
It's
puts me in the mood. Let's review some pages.
it's very vibey, very lo-fi, vibey moods today.
I love it. I love it. Well, welcome everybody to One Page Wednesday. I am Paige. We got Scott and Jordan in the house as well.
Hello.
Yay. So I'm curious if people wanted to drop into the chat if they have any goals this year, resolutions. I'm looking for some inspiration, motivation myself. If anyone has some goals, drop those in the chat. I would love to see those goals and resolutions.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop it in the chat. I'll start mine. Is no resolutions. My resolution is
None.
be more boring. Just do things more consistently. That's my habit.
Ooh, I like that. There's a lot to be said for boring consistency. And I'll tell you what,
Hmm.
I will say parenthood, right? Having a daughter has taught me that the daily flow of life, like predictability can be a really good thing and not necessarily just be kind of boring. So
It's
I
tough
like
to
that.
achieve.
I'm in on that one. I'm
All
in on
right,
that.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
I had a New Year's resolution, right? It's not something I'm trying to I don't. Okay, so this is kind of particular to me, but I work in 90-day chunks, right? So I made like a Q1 resolution for myself and stuff like that. Is I'm trying to finish 2 books a month that are not business related. You know what I mean? Like off topic, like stuff I want to read for my own kind of thing. But I'm trying to read more. I'm trying to read more.
In our Sam Cart book club,
Do we have a Sam Cart book club?
we have a Sam Cart book club. Come
I'm
on.
totally joining.
Sweet.
I'm totally
Okay.
joining. What are we reading right now? I gotta know. Give me a hint. Like, what kind of stuff are we into?
Well, we all voted. We had a Google spreadsheet, and there were some submissions, and we're going to be reading American Dirt. I'm not sure if any of our
Ooh.
audience viewers or members have read that
Okay.
one,
Okay.
but
Okay.
it sounds really good. So you should order that book and join us for the book club.
I like it. I like it. Well, it looks like in the chat we've got New Year's resolutions about how to integrate Samcart with other tools.
Okay.
We've got imperfect action from Sean. I love that one for sure. It's just getting moving, right? So much of what we do here on One Page Wednesday is just here to inspire you guys to see real examples and to get you guys moving, right? Because having something out there in the world is better than having nothing, right? And waiting for something to be perfect means you have nothing out in the world because it's never perfect in anything. So our goal in One Page Wednesday is to show you guys what kinds of very imperfect, non-awesome, crazy pages are out there in the world and crushing it, right, for real Samcart customers every day. So, Paige, your New Year's resolution, and then we'll tie it back into why resolutions are today's topic du jour.
That's a great question. I'm trying to worry less. I tend to worry a lot. I mean, I'm a very caring person, very passionate person. So I'm just trying to worry less because it's all good, right?
It's all good.
It's all
It's all good. I
it's
think
all good.
I think worrying less is a very, we should all take that to heart. We've been living for 2 years with COVID and this whole world, you know what I mean, that just
Mhm.
tells you that there's invisible dangers around every corner. And I think all of us should just worry less. You know what I mean? It's time. We are bringing 2022 is a new year, man. This is our year. We're taking it back. Life's coming back. I'm feeling it.
Let's do it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well,
Paige,
speaking of resolutions, our page today kind of touches on, I guess you could say you could gear this into a resolution, right? So I'm going to share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
yep. Oh,
Okay.
Paige, I always got to ask before we get started, if
Yeah.
I want to be on One Page Wednesday,
Yeah.
what do I have to do?
Yes. So you will want to check out onepagewednesday.com here on the bottom of your screen where you can submit your sales page. You'll want to include a little bit about yourself, how long you've been with Samcart, where you are in your journey and your process and sales. So you'll want to share your product page as a link. It's that simple URL from your product details and drop that link into onepagewednesday.com. Submit some information about yourself, and we hope to have you on One Page Wednesday.
Love it.
Awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
and while we go through this page, everyone in the chat, everyone that's watching, you have an opinion too. So if you're watching something on this page and you spot something that you think needs to be tweaked a little bit, drop it in the chat. You guys are all a part of this. But yeah, Paige, let's share your screen.
Rip
All
it
right,
up.
awesome. Awesome. Okay, y'all can share my screen, right? Y'all can
Yes.
see it? Okay,
We are
cool.
live.
We are live. We got this. Okay. So we have a page from Erin, and this is touching on emotional eating. So those of you that maybe are thinking about going on a diet or struggle with this is going to speak to you. And this is a course, as it says here, to empower and to transform your relationship with food. Now, at first glance, y'all, when I saw this page, I have never wanted a donut more in my life.
Oh, I know. I like for something that's pitching diet stuff, I'm like, man, I'm hungry. Yeah, give me some
Yeah.
pastries. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love that image. I think that is a great attention grabbing image. And then it goes straight into what this is offering, emotional eating, and a course. But I just wanted to ask you guys, do you think there needs to be more of that type of structure as like a headline and a subheadline? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, here's a great example, right, of something where sometimes going negative, right, is a great way to get someone's attention, right? Remember, we always talk about what's the job of a headline. The job of a headline is to pull someone in, to let them know this page is for me, and to get them to keep reading, okay? You have to get them to continue to read, but first you got to reel them in, right? Think of it like it's the hook that you catch a fish, and then the rest of your page is what's actually going to reel them in and convince someone to buy, right? And so, yeah, like we're talking about emotional eating. If you land on this page and you see the donuts and your mouth starts watering, all of a sudden it's got your attention, and maybe like in a negative way, like, yeah, I need some help with emotional eating. You know what I mean? Like, so we're doing a good job here. The one thing that I would like to see in the headline is it just says emotional eating, right? That's all it says. And it's not about like, well, what about emotional eating? Is it here to help me combat emotional eating? Is it, obviously I'm guessing that it's a weight loss type, you know what I mean? I'm going to help you get better at not eating emotionally. And so that's the only thing I'd like to see. I'd like to see a little bit more, a few more words that's going to, let's eliminate emotional eating. I mean, even if you just added the word eliminate right there, it might be just a little bit more of what you need to say, like, what is this really for? Give a little bit more context and kind of, let everyone know this is for you, right? You are here. If you're an emotional eater, this is your page.
Yeah, it's like definitely some kind of action word to draw you in. I'm with it.
Yeah, Marilyn even said it right down there, right? Marilyn even said it, right? It's just said that she wanted to show an action, right? Yeah, 100%. Love that.
Sweet.
Awesome. Well, I love that she does dive in and says this is a course that's going to empower you and transform your relationship with food. So some people might not even know what emotional eating is, or if they even have that a problem. So I think that's really interesting that she includes that there. And then also stating you'll be able to recognize, express, validate your emotions instead of avoiding or numbing them. It's not about willpower.
Yeah, I like that. You know what? I when we do pages like this, you do sales pages, remember, like, everything that you guys are writing, it's really about overcoming objections, right? Everyone's coming to your page thinking, why shouldn't I buy this, right? No one shows up thinking, all right, I'm going to buy it and I'm looking for reasons not to. It's the other way around. And so, for her, for the, do you know, what's the name of this creator page? Do you know?
Her name's Erin.
Aaron. Okay, so Aaron, if you're watching us, Aaron, one of the things that most people probably come to this page and they think, I can't do this. I don't have the willpower. You know what I mean? I've tried diets. I just don't have the willpower. And so she's going right at that. You go right at that objection. If someone has an objection, you've got to blast it out of the thin air. You know what I mean? You've got to just vaporize it immediately. And she's going right after, right? This is not about willpower. It's about these other things. It's about validating your emotions, about doing these kind of things. And if you do these, right, a lack of willpower doesn't matter, right? You're overcoming big objections. You're blowing them out of the sky. And so, yeah, I like what she's done right here. And now, yeah, she's quickly going to pivot, right, page. And now we're into like a totally different section of the page. What's next?
Yep, we got some bullet points here. So we have these icons. It's kind of hard to tell, but she has these star icons here. But with our drag and drop builder, there's hundreds of different icons you can choose from. So I was in there seeing what she could use. She could use food. There's like cookies and like, sweet treats in there she could use instead of stars. So I think that would just be a good idea to have different icons to kind of fit her overall theme. Just a little trick there.
Yeah, I like that for sure. And I like that she's breaking it down. You know, this is sort of the here's what you get section. You know, you get 6 months access. And here's what I love. I really love, like, look at that first paragraph, right? You get 6 months access to this course training thing. Why? Right? And now she's going to explain why. We talk a lot about the so that trick, right? Like, Jordan, break down the so that trick for everybody that we always talk about.
So that everyone just states one thing, but they never finish their sentence when they're trying to sell to somebody. They just tell you like a simple feature, but they don't tell you why it's important or what's the benefit of it. So you say, so that, I want to stop emotional eating so that you will lose 10 pounds every, year and feel amazing. So like, what's the benefit? That's what, you always got to go one step further.
I love that. Yeah. And so definitely, you know, with her saying 6 months access and then saying why immediately, everything that follows why is going to be what the reader wants to care, like what the reader cares about. Cause that's one of the biggest things, right? When you guys are writing sales pages, if you want to persuade someone, you want to write persuasive copywriting, you've got to write about what your audience cares about. Your audience doesn't care how many videos or how long your course is or how many months they get access. They care that they're going to have the accountability they need to finally hit that goal weight. You know what I mean? That's what they want. And so 6 months access. Why? Because I want everyone to succeed. So you have access to 6 months. If you need more support, just let me know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here for you. You know what I mean? That's what that's saying. And I really, really like that a lot. She's just kind of following up and going a little bit deeper than just sort of saying you get 6 months access. It's like, why? Let's drill down. And that's a really nice little copy.
Awesome.
Reading
and then she goes, yeah. Oh, sorry, Jordan, go ahead.
Yeah, Paige, reading the second paragraph, the why did I create this? It's kind of, this is her story, and it makes me almost want to restructure this a little bit to say like maybe start with your story, or if this is the reason why you made this course.
Yeah.
I was this, I felt this, I wanted to make a change about myself, and you're telling your story, but this is also your customer's story too. This is your customer's problem. So I feel like she jumps right into this is a course, this is what you get, without first kind of like setting the groundwork of saying like, here's the problem. I felt like this. I was sluggish. I was tired all the time. So maybe a little bit of restructuring to say, start with the problem and educate your customers a little bit.
Okay. So do you think she should leave this like in a bullet form, like a bullet point form as it is, or maybe putting this in a separate area or paragraph of the page?
It could be like a separate paragraph, or like this is the very first paragraph, or this is the first hook, as opposed to just saying emotional eating, because it's almost like she's assuming we all know what emotional eating is. So maybe like start with the story. Like I think a lot of experts, we all do it. Like we think everybody is on the same level as we are, so they're just like, I'm just going to start talking immediately about what I offer. Where you kind of like, you got to bring people up to speed a little bit.
Yep. Break it down. Absolutely. And then she goes into, touching on her approach as well, injecting her own uniqueness into it. And then again, that why me section down here. So I would, like you were saying, put that in the other part of the paragraph that would be including here.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. You know what I mean? Like I always call it, it's your 11 herbs and spices, right? Why should someone buy from you? If I'm someone who's an emotional eater, you know what I mean? You have to answer the question. You have to answer it convincingly, right? Why should someone come buy from you? All right. And so that's why she's saying, why my approach? Well, hey, listen, this was my problem. I had this myself and overcame emotional eating and doing all stuff. That's convincing. That's good stuff. You know what I mean? Dive into that more. I'd like to see more here. I think she's touching the surface of her uniqueness, right? And injecting her uniqueness there. And I think she should do more of that, right? I think this should be like a paragraph closer to the top of the page, not just one bullet point, but kind of like what is the uniqueness? Why you, Aaron? You know what I mean? What have you done specifically? What have you helped others do? You know what I mean? And inject that uniqueness in a major way.
I couldn't agree more. Yep, absolutely. And then she has included a call to action down here. I always encourage everyone to have a call to action on their sales page as well. And then as we keep on scrolling down a little bit, you're going to see what's included in this 6-month course. So we've got 11 weeks of journal prompts, 10 customized worksheets, and 11 coaching videos. That's a lot of, information in a 6-month course.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to take in. This is one of those sections where I think it needs some so that stuff though. You know what I mean? Like I think what could be more useful is people aren't sitting here counting thinking, "Oh, cool, well 11 journal prompts is, less than 11 or something, right?" I think this each one of these needs a sentence or two below to sort of break down why. What are the journal prompts? What are they going to do for you? These customized worksheets, what are they and what are they going to provide that I wouldn't get elsewhere? The 11 coaching videos, like that's all well and good, but it's like, okay, what is it? You know what I mean? Like what are the coaching videos? Is there, and then the last thing I would say is seems like a pretty behemoth thing. And when we get down to the price, you guys will kind of see what we're talking about, right? But Aaron, don't leave anything out, right? Is there a live component to this? You kind of down the page, Aaron talks a little bit more about some of the other stuff that someone kind of gets or experiences when they're kind of a member here. You know what I mean? And to me, this section right here is cool. The design is cool. I like that, right? But I do think it should be explained more. This is so critical, right? What someone gets when they buy from you. You know what I mean? Don't shortchange yourself. Explain why each piece is there. Explain what it does for you. You get 11 journal prompts so that, you're going to be able, I don't know exactly what these journal prompts actually do for someone. Like, I don't know. So that you're able to work through and overcome your emotional things, because it's not just physical, there's a mental aspect to it. You get 10 customized worksheets so that you lose weight faster because it's customized to your body type, or, things like that. But you got to think, what does my audience want here? You know what I mean? They want the end result faster, easier, better, right? And just giving numbers and saying, hey, here's everything you get, and just kind of counting them, is the equivalent of saying, hey, come buy a car. It's got 4 wheels, it's got 5 gears in the engine. It's got, 12 cubic feet of trunk space. Like, those are all good things, you know what I mean? But you've got to turn it around and figure out a way to explain, what does my audience want out of this? And I think this just needs, 1 or 2 sentences underneath of each one of these things explaining why the audience would care to have them.
Yeah, just a little bit of context to add to it. Because, I feel like she's just dropping them cold on us. Or, again, kind of making that assumption, like we know that journal entries or journal prompts are going to be the way to emotional eating. Or just, so yeah, she's got to bring us up to speed a little bit more.
Yep.
Oh, Paige is muted.
Prompts.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You're good, Paige. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Also, I'm thinking, like, how are these journal prompts different than the customized worksheets, right? So I think it's really key to decipher the difference between each of all of the information that you're going to get, right? And how all the coaching videos are going to be different as well. So I love everything y'all had to say about adding more context to what you're going to be getting in each of these journal prompts, worksheets, and coaching videos.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, and with the coaching videos, is that it's probably really, you need to know, is it a one-on-one call? Is it a group call? Is it just a live video? Because if
100%.
I'm talking to somebody about my personal weight and health issues, like I kind of want to know.
There could be some privacy stuff that we need to know about. You know what I mean? That's again, that comes back to, what objections does someone have to buying your stuff? You know what I mean? If this is a 6-month training, someone might have the objection of like, well, I'm kind of embarrassed and I don't want to share this stuff publicly. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of stuff, then you would need a section somewhere to talk about, like, hey, this is private coaching. It happens, offline, or it's all, whatever, like, but it comes down to you guys understanding, as creators, as sellers, as entrepreneurs, you know what I mean? Doing the work and talking to your customers and understanding what objections does someone have to buying, and then thinking, cool, now on my page, how can I blow those out of the water? How can I destroy those? So as when someone has no objections left, they pull out their credit card and they buy your stuff.
Absolutely. All right, let's scroll down a little bit here. We got some testimonial success stories here. She's got some images here for the testimonials, but Scott, I remember you mentioning to use people's faces. So
Always.
I'm a bit cheerleader of that now, advocate of that now. But maybe what if somebody doesn't want to be seen that they had this type of, emotional eating problem or something like that? Like, do you have any type of like objection as to whether or not you should use, like when you should use testimonial images and when you shouldn't?
Right. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're going to use someone's testimonial, you should always ask for permission. You know what I mean? Generally speaking, that's always a good idea before you take someone's, you know, words or something. But if, you know, if someone's written you an email, or someone's has a comment in your Facebook group, or someone, you know, whatever, like take those screenshots and share them. You know what I mean? I've been doing this a very, very long time, and I would say a very if I were to ask 100 different customers of ours to share a quote of theirs on our page, you're going to get 99 yeses. You know what I mean? Like it is a very small thing to do to say, hey, can I share this? You know, can I, you know, add your image in here, you know, use your face. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Paige, I would say whenever possible, use smiling, happy faces. You know what I mean? The more real people feel that these testimonials are, the better. You know what I mean? That's obviously they should always be real. I'm not advocating someone kind of make them up or make them fake. You know what I mean? But yeah, having these smiling, happy faces and real people is just going to help your audience connect that much better. And it's going to make testimonials pop. You know what I mean? Just, they've got to feel ultra real. And that's why, you know, I always, big time, use faces wherever possible.
Scott, I got to chime in as someone who has worked in the digital fitness industry.
Yes.
The biggest seller is not the worded testimonials, but the progress pics, the before and after pictures.
Absolutely. Yep.
And if you want to keep it anonymous, you know, you always do the like chest down where you kind of cut off their head a little
bit.
Blur
the face type stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, big time.
So show me a fat gut and then show me some six packs right next to it. And I'm going, yep, this is the real deal. These are the results. So
and here's the cool part too, is that's not unique to fitness. You know what I mean? For anybody out there, whatever you guys are doing, if you're, I don't even care what it is that you're doing. You're like, your service, your product is creating a before and after situation in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? For Samcart, we could have before, you know, quote unquote, before and afters, where someone's like, I had a full-time job and now, you know, I follow my passion online. I'm making a full-time income from it. That's our version of before and after. And so take that to heart. You know what I mean? Take the whole classic kind of, you know, big gut guy to, you know, like skinnier looking dad to, you know, I don't know, whatever, right? Take that fitness before and after example and apply it to whatever it is that you're doing. And if you can find a way to showcase that on your page, in your own social proof and stuff like that, you know, then that's gonna be a big win. Your testimonials are really, really, really gonna pop and convince a lot of people to buy your stuff and to become new customers.
Absolutely. Love it. And she has, you know, about 3 on here, which I think is, you know, pretty good. I've seen some pages that just have so many testimonials and success stories that take up too much of the sales page. But I think these here are like a good sweet spot.
Yeah, I love that. You know what's funny, Paige, is we have a stat from the Samcart database that shows that going from 0 testimonials to 1 testimonial is a really nice big lift in overall conversions, like a 23% boost to conversions. And then if you add a second one, that number goes up a little bit. If you add a third one, that number goes up a little bit. Fourth and fifth, it goes a little up. And then for some reason, after 5, it kind of plateaus. Right. So having 5 is still better than nothing, but like adding a 6th, a 7th, and 8th testimonial, like at that point, it's kind of not helping you anymore. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I always think kind of like 3 to 5 is kind of that sweet spot where you're kind of convincing, you know, it's really convincing, like, oh, wow, yeah, there's a lot of people that really use this and really got good results. And then, you know, if you're thinking going beyond 5, for whatever reason, going beyond 5, that's when it stops helping. So I don't know what to make of that, but that's a real number from the Samcart database. We try to share as much of that stuff as we can with you guys. Awesome. And that's what it's telling us. So do with that what you will. Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'm going to scroll on down and we have a about the author. This is where we can learn more about Erin. She's a mental health therapist. She is from Chicago, moved to Asheville. So we get to learn a little bit more about her. It looks like she's been a licensed therapist for over 10 plus years. So there's a lot of credibility there. And then, you know, reading more about her and her story, this is when I kind of wonder, is this a part of the sales page that needs to be at the top where we talk about, or where she talks about the why, right? So how do you decipher when they need to talk about, you know, their own uniqueness and then when they want to have like a separate about the author section?
Yeah, it's funny, right? Like every word on your sales page, you have got to think, what does my audience care about? Okay. And even in sort of this hero section, even in the section where you're sort of introducing yourself and your own uniqueness, you're selling you are your credentials. You know what I mean? Like, so for Erin right here, this is where Erin's got to inject as much stuff as possible that makes her believable and overcomes the objection of, why should I trust this person with my money? You know, why should I trust this person with my health? Right. And so, yeah, you know, I think it's cool that she's a transplant. It's cool that she lives in Nashville, you know, that kind of stuff. But, you know, I would be working, Erin, I would be working here in this section to inject even more about, I've helped this many people. I've done this, you know, like, this is where you cannot brag too much about yourself. Okay. That is exactly what this section is about. Okay. That it should be you bragging on, here's what I've done. Here's what I've accomplished. These are my credentials, you know, and, you know, we get people asking all the time. I think this section right here, right on people's sales pages, is where imposter syndrome comes out the most. It comes out the strongest, right? And people think, oh man, well, you know, I'm not a professional, or I don't have a PhD in this. Like, I don't have that kind of stuff. And I'm telling you right now, you do not need those things. Okay. This is not where only the elite and the most educated and all this kind of stuff like belong here and can, you know, help people out. That's not what I mean. What I mean to say is, what have you done professionally or personally, or what about your story matters to this? You know, Erin, I weighed 220 pounds and, you know, I did this, and all of a sudden now I'm, you know, I lost 80 pounds doing exactly what I'm showing you right here. That could be enough. You know what I mean? But like, this is your chance to sort of tell that story again and kind of reiterate, you know, who am I? Why should you listen to me? Inject your 11 herbs and spices, right? What is your uniqueness about losing weight and overcoming emotional eating? You know what I mean? And inject that into this spot. And it can be a really, really big win, right? But again, it's all about, what does your audience care about? And your audience at this point is asking, why should I listen to you as opposed to the thousands of other people online who are going to try and help me lose weight, right? And it doesn't need to be crazy. It doesn't need to be way over the top. It doesn't need to be that you have to go to get a PhD from, you know, whatever about, you know, whatever it is that you're talking about. But it just needs to be, you know, why are you trustworthy? What have you accomplished? What have you helped other people accomplish, right? And inject as much of that as possible.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. All right.
Paige, I'll speak a little bit to the photo. Yeah, like you said, Scott, either her photo needs to be like a picture of her before and after, like, hey, I went through this health journey and this is where I am now. Like, basically, you know, you're communicating to your audience, like, I'm just like you. I've been in the same position that you were. Or we need to go maybe a little more in the professional route, where like try to get like a professional photographer to take some really nice photos of you that make it, you know, because everything, like you said, every aspect, every word, every title, every picture on here needs to ooze professionalism. Like, if you're going to pay me this much money, look how much I take care of my image, look how much I take care of my professional brand. And you know, this photo is nice enough, but it's like, it feels almost like a little mug shot. So like, I kind of want like, give me either the before and after shot, or give me like
your iPhone and take a portrait mode photo outside.
Yeah.
Done. You know what I mean? Like, call it. Go out at sunset and take a portrait mode photo. Like, that's it. That's all it needs. You know what I mean? But let's be honest about this picture for a second. Like, Erin, I'm sure you're great. Like, you know what I mean? But this is you standing against a wall in your house. You know what I mean? Like, it does not ooze the level of professionalism that's about to accompany the price at the bottom of this page. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, I think you could do a lot better. Jordan, I love the idea of, you know, Erin, you claim to have a before and after. Show your before and after. You know what I mean? Like, if you're brave enough to put a picture of yourself in a bathing suit, you know, when you were X amount of pounds and whatever. Now, I know I'm not brave enough to do that kind of stuff, but thankfully I don't really sell fitness advice, so that's fine. But you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of thing. Yeah. Like, go outside, take a nice portrait mode photo, have somebody take one of you. You know what I mean? Like, you can take such nice photos on your phone now that there's no excuse for someone not to have like a nice photo of themselves that just makes you look like a rock star. You know what I mean? But you can do that. You can do that on your phone.
Yeah. And express whatever personality that you want to express. If you're fun, then like show that you're fun. Or if you're like serious, then like show that you're serious. Like, have a laptop there, have a notepad in your hand, or like, look, you know, express how you know, without saying anything, how are you expressing to the world what you want to communicate?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I call this the driver's license picture.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's like, and it's fine. You know what I mean? It's not bad, but I mean to say, like, we're here to help people take their pages to the next level. That's that next level.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. And then I just wanted to call out, she has her Facebook, Twitter, and like Instagram linked here. I don't see that a lot. And I think that's great. I think that's a great way to also engage with your audience and your customers and your viewers by putting in your social media so they can learn more about you and see if there's like other community that they can get involved with too. So I think that's great. She has her social media linked here.
Yeah, absolutely. I highly, highly, highly recommend that everybody go create a Facebook group or something like that for your audience or for an interest related to your audience. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily need to be like, this is Aaron's Facebook group. You know what I mean? But maybe go create one that's like, moms against emotional eating or, whatever. You go create one that's sort of about like you create a movement of like, these are people that are like-minded folks. And you can be building a Facebook group off of this and have a chance if someone doesn't buy, but they're in the group and maybe they get involved and they come back and buy later. It's there's a lot of good to add there. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. All right. And then we're going to scroll on down to the checkout.
Big time. Let's take a look.
Okay. All right. Well, she doesn't have any billing or shipping fields there, so that's good.
That's nice. Nice, short, tight checkout. Yep.
Yep. I would include, I'm a huge advocate for the email confirmation field. Like no matter what, I would include that on there because I even get my own email messed up all the time. So being able to like double check and inputting it and correctly is just going to save you as a seller like time and a headache.
I love that. Yeah, big time. Yeah. So the email confirmation field is one you can turn on right inside of if you open up the Samcart builder and then go to settings, you guys can turn on email confirmation. So basically forces people to type it twice so there's no typos or anything like that, right? The thing that I noticed right away, right, is I think 100% there should be Apple Pay and Google Pay on, right? So digital wallets is a massive one. And I highly, highly recommend that everybody go and turn that on as well. Again, very, very easy setting. You can go into the help articles in Samcart and check it out. But turning on Apple Pay and Google Pay is a huge one.
Yep, absolutely. And as you see, she has her credit cards and PayPal. So that is powerful as well. But then I'm just a little concerned about the price.
Big time. Yeah, I think we're right to be concerned about the price. So the price here is $3,000, right? That's a big price point. Number one, okay, let's break this out for just a hot second. If you're going to sell something that expensive, you absolutely need to have payment options. Okay, so payment options is a feature inside of Samcart. We've got tons of videos about how to create it. Again, go into Samcart, click on that little question mark icon in your dashboard and search payment options. You guys can see. But at the very least, she should have an option that breaks this down into like $500 payments or something, right? Or breaks this down even into 3 payments of $1,000 or something like that, right? So it's high. And so you can charge prices this high. We have Samcart customers all day, every day that are charging customers $5,000, $10,000, $30,000 a pop for stuff. So it's not that you can't sell it like this, right? It is, however, though, every time that you sell something that high, you need more time to sell it, right? And so I worry that the page that's here to sell this by itself would not be enough to actually go and sell. I think you would need to really drill down into everything that's inside of this training and this course, you know what I mean, and what it is, and just give more, right? We need to put more meat on the bone to sell something at this price point. And so, but if this is also, maybe this is a page that people land to after they get off the phone with you. Maybe Aaron's on the phone closing people, and this is the page she just sells to sort of close the deal and seal it. And, that's good. Then maybe that's fine. And it can be a little shorter. You know what I mean? But the payment options thing is massive, right? And so, Paige, I know you harp on payment options a lot. That was one of the first things you mentioned when you brought up this page.
Yeah, I consider, from those that I've spoken to here at Samcart and other Samcart sellers, I've been told and I hear that $100 is considered a higher price point. So I would even include a payment option for something that's $100. So when I see something like this close to $3,000, I would absolutely put in a payment option of a limited subscription to help your customers and your audience get that order.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then the last thing that I think is missing here, right, of course, is order bumps. We talk about order bumps all the time, right? But it is a simple, easy way for your customers to add other stuff to their cart as they're checking out. It is unbelievably unique to Samcart that you can do multiple of these things. It is absolutely insanely awesome. And it's the kind of thing that, Aaron, if you're selling for $3,000, you could have order bumps on here that are extra $5,000, that are another $1,000. Like, let people buy other stuff from you. So I think one of the biggest things that maybe we'll just like close out on this, right, is let's just think, if Erin is selling a 6-month training course, what are some other order bump ideas that she could toss onto this that people would scoop up along the way as they're buying and increase Erin's sales, maybe even double Erin's sales? I mean, order bumps are the kinds of things that the Samcart database shows us, that adding just a single order bump to your checkout page, okay, to your checkout process, increases what the average customer spends by 32%. Okay. And that's just one. You add a second one, you add a one-click upsell, you add course cross-sells sort of in the back end. And Samcart is just chock full of ways that your customers can spend more money and you grow your business, right? That is why Samcart sellers make 3 to 5 times more than people who sell in other places. And so let's just do that. Let's just think for a second. What else do you think she could toss out there?
What comes to mind first is always, when it comes to nutrition and fitness, it's a simple nutrition plan, a meal plan. There's recipe books that you could add. That would be the first one. Or like even just an ebook, like a shortened 30-page ebook of like what is emotional eating.
Yeah, love that.
Yep. Jordan, you stole my ideas.
Sorry.
So maybe offering like an emotional support group, right? That could also be another type of order bump too.
A monthly membership type thing, right? Or hey, I'll give you 1 year to my insider, whatever group that's like just, my personal clients, things like that. I think anything that makes this more personal, anything that gets you more of Erin's time, behind the scenes type stuff, right? Or I'm going to get you, you can purchase 6 emergency calls so that, you can pick up the phone and call me and we, we'll spend 30 minutes or something like that, right? For an extra $500, or something like that.
Scott, would there be any difference of this being a limited subscription, like a 6-month limited subscription versus doing a payment option or paying full price? Like if you join me, you got 6 months and it's going to be $500 a month for 6 months. Like, is that any different?
Yeah, I mean, that's, when we talk about breaking up those payments and doing payment options, that's exactly where I would start. I would start with something that, hey, this is 6 months, it costs $3,000, right? But we're going to break it up into 6 payments of 500, right? And just let you choose to pay monthly, or something like that, right? That's where I would start. You also could break this up into like 3 payments of 1,000, or, that kind of stuff goes. I don't really like payment options that go longer than the commitment. If you're talking about something that's a 6-month commitment, I wouldn't want to do 12 payments, you know what I mean? So someone's paying after it's already over. You want someone to complete those payments and you want it to be done in relatively short order. But yeah, no, I mean, breaking it up and finding ways to make the barrier to entry lower is going to get more customers in the door. It's going to help you help more people. And in the end, you make more money. If I get 10 people to pay $500 a month for 6 months, you know what I mean? It's a lot more money than if someone comes in and I get 5 people to pay me $3,000 up front. And my guess is that, Erin, she could probably 3 or 4 or maybe even 5x the conversion of this page just by adding a payment option, right? And again, Samcart makes this so simple, right? But if I had the page here that has $3,000 one time, or a second page and split test it against them where I also offered 6 payments of $500, I guarantee you the one with the payment options on it, or the one that adds more flexibility and gives your customers options to pay that's a little bit less money up front, is probably going to get 3 to 5 times more customers in the door than just adding for that one-time fee up front. So it's an awesome feature. It's available on any Samcart plan. Absolutely everybody should be trying these things out and adding 1 or 2 or even 3 different payment options for your customers to choose from. But it's a huge benefit and something that can really, really make a big difference.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, that is everything that we have for this One Page Wednesday. Thank you, Erin, for submitting your page. I hope you take this feedback and make, any improvements or adjustments that you wish. And then always feel free to send it back our way so we can take another peek at it as well.
Paige, why don't we do a recap of this whole page in case some folks joined a little bit later in the video?
Yeah. So back up here at the top, we have our beautiful donut image again. And then also We have a little bit of a summary of what you're gonna, get in your course, but we think that it would be best if Erin takes some of these bullet points, these icons, and adds more to her uniqueness, right? Her story and her background to really pull in her audience and her viewers as to why they need this course. And then as we were scrolling on down, you can see what's included in her course, but we need some more context into what is going to be included in the journals, the worksheets, and the coaching videos. And it's always a great idea to add some so that's, so your customers, your audience know exactly what they are going to get in the course. And then scrolling on down, we have our testimonials, our success stories. She could add a couple more, up to 5 would be a sweet spot. And then again, showing some before and after, showing those transformations of her clients and those people, the people that she has helped. And then down below in the About the Author section, she needs to really add to her credibility here. So we can see she's been a therapist for, well over 10 plus years, but including here how many people you have helped, put more numbers in there. This is where you can brag about yourself. So I would definitely add a lot more information there about her. And then I would put in a different photo here, one that's a little bit, more professional. It could be a selfie in portrait mode on her phone, anywhere else that's not going to be this, what I like to call a driver's license photo. And then down below in our checkout, turning on that email confirmation here, turning on those digital wallets like Apple Pay, and then adding in a payment option such as a limited subscription that won't be more than 6 months long. And then also adding in those order bumps here. So anything that's going to be like a cookbook or meal plan, support groups, anything like that, you can add in for your order bumps.
Sweet.
Love it. That was great, man. That was
Awesome.
super, super awesome. Everybody, make sure you guys head out to onepagewednesday.com where you guys can submit your own sales pages to be reviewed on a future episode of One Page Wednesday. But be sure to give this video the nice big thumbs up on YouTube. Helps us get seen by more and more people as One Page Wednesday is catching on like wildfire. It's been a lot of fun reviewing all these pages. We do this every Wednesday with Paige and with Jordan. And yeah, Paige, take us home.
Thank you everyone again so much for joining. If you want to submit your page, go to onepagewednesday.com. And I look forward to seeing all the amazing pages that get submitted. And I wish everyone a happy new year and all the best and all the success.
Sounds good. Deuces, man. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.